Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. For everyone else, welcome back. It is Monday. I spent the weekend trying to figure out what I wanted to read. I really enjoyed reading Fragile Hopes last week, and the switch from reading fantasies. I didn't want another contemporary romance. So let me look at what I have, and I started Songbird by the Wrights, Rebecca and S.L. Wright. It's a dystopian romance, and there was nothing wrong with it, but it wasn't the book for me at the time. I think I read a total of maybe 30 pages over the whole weekend, and so I decided I would go on Instagram and look at what fellow readers are reading right now that they've been really excited for. And Stay at Home Mom Book Queen, I think, is the creator. Let's see if I can find it. Stay at Home Mom Book Queen. Yeah, so it's SAHM Book Queen. Nicolette is her name. But she was talking about how she had, or that she was looking for books, or an author similar to Lisa Jewell and another one. I don't remember who that one is. But I also didn't recognize the author, so it kind of slipped my mind. But that kind of thriller stories, but had a backlist. And she had just read What Lies Between Us by John Mars. I have it on my Kindle right now. And it's on KU, not just as the ebook, but also the audio. So I've been listening to that. And I am hooked. This is a story of a mother and daughter told dual point of view and dual timelines. So we have the mother and daughter's point of views in the present day, and then we also have some going back 21 to 24 years ago. And it's very interesting. I honestly went into this completely blind, and so other than knowing it's a mother and daughter tale and it's a thriller, that's all I'm gonna say about it. But I am really, really enjoying this one, and I'm just, yeah, it definitely has brought reading back to the enjoyment I had during June, April, May, and June. And now this month I've been kind of struggling, honestly. So I am gonna keep on this one and probably either do a John Mars vlog this week or a Bookstagram suggests type. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes, and I'll keep you in the loop. Alright, it is Tuesday morning. Well, Tuesday around noon. I finished What Lies Between Us by John Mars, and oh my goodness. So I started this book and I gave you guys a little update. I went in blind. Gave you guys a little update at 20 something percent. And then kept reading, and before I hit the 50% mark, which is when I would have done my next update, I started getting a migraine. And so I took meds, and the meds knocked me out, which is pretty normal. So I took a little nap for a while yesterday. And then I could no longer be in any sort of vertical or inclined position. So I got in bed but couldn't focus on reading, so I watched a lot of TV, which was fine. Completely fine. And then after that, I went to sleep and woke up at like 5 o'clock this morning and finished the book. And oh my goodness, once things really start being revealed, things are really, really revealed. And you're left on this roller coaster of reveal after reveal. Like, you don't even get over one before you're headed to the next one. And oh my goodness, very interesting story. And then since then, I have been scrolling Instagram to find my next read. And I think I have found it. And apparently it's going to make me bawl my eyes out. So I am looking at reading, there it goes. This Book Made Me Think of You by Libby Page. It looks like this. It is a widow receives 12 monthly books with letters from her late husband, leading her on reading inspired adventures and helping her find healing through literature and new connections. It's just under 400 pages. Everyone who's read it has said that it's made them cry. I am taking this book recommendation from Book Huddle, I believe is what it was. It's Book Huddle. Lauren Moore. And she had a post, 9 books I beg you to read, and this one was on it. There are more on that list, and a lot of them look really good, but this one really stood out to me, I think because of the books on the cover. So, I have a bunch of digital credits that are about to expire on Amazon. So I'm going to use those to get this book, and I'm going to start reading it. I think I might do the audiobook as well. But we'll see. It looks really interesting. So I'm going to get started on that one and stop rambling and see where this takes me. And I will check in with you guys soon. Alright, so a quick update with this book made me think of you. I am for sure in February. I was listening to it and dozed off, so my audiobook is in March. I stopped looking at the pages in February, but I was alert for more than just where I'm at. So I have temporarily rewound the audio back to the beginning of February. I'm going to keep listening and following along and go from there. I am enjoying this so far. It's a very sweet thing that her husband did. Her husband knew, Tilly's husband knew that he had cancer and might die, and so he planned out with a bookshop 12 books to give her, along with a letter, one each month. And that's like one of the first things she asks when she goes in January, on her birthday, January 5th. And she's like, can I just have all of them? I'm here right now. And he's like, no, I promised that it would be one a month. And so she goes once a month and picks it up. And I am, the first book is so sweet. Like, it's the perfect one to start her off with, because it's the book she's named for the character. So very sweet so far, but I am going to listen to this. It is 12:30 in the morning, so I'm gonna listen and read and go to sleep soon, because I do not need a rebound migraine after yesterday's migraine, which normally comes the second day. So we're gonna see how things go, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Alright, I am still reading This Book Made Me Think of You by Libby Page. Oh, now you're gonna move. Whatever. I had the cat in my regular chair, and you can't have ice cream. It has chocolate in it. Sorry. Woo! Alright, so I am listening to it. We're almost to May. I'm 30%, 31% in. Really enjoying this one. Okay, stop licking the ice cream. Cats. What are we gonna do with them? What would we do without them? Anyway. So I'm really enjoying this one. I have teared up a few times, especially during Joe. It's either Joe or John. I can't remember. I think it's Joe. His letters to Tilly are just so sweet, and he really thought this through, and did a lot of groundwork for this. She goes to, so he sets it all up in one bookstore, but she goes to another bookstore, and it's just one that, like, he kind of mentions in a letter, but she goes there, and he has a gift waiting for her there. Is this the right time of the month for me to be reading this? Probably not. I'm already tearing up just thinking about it. Partly because Tilly's situation, the loss of her husband, is like my worst nightmare. I really couldn't imagine life without my husband. And so this story just hits a little differently. Please leave the headphone alone. This cat is getting on my nerves. But yeah, it's really sweet. But while I am listening to it, I am playing Pal World, which is a game that my husband wants us to play together. So I'm going to get back to Pal World. I will say, as far as immersive reading, one of the things that drive me crazy when I'm immersive reading, and one of the creators talked about this just recently when I watched her video, and that's when the words on the page and the audio don't match. What are we? Oh. And so I'm really struggling with that. But I'm going to keep going with this and just listen to it and not worry about the ebook for now. But I'm going to get back to it and playing Power World, and I'll check in soon. So I have finished. This story made me think, or this book made me think of you. And it was so sweet. I teared up so many times. It really was just great. It gave a nice difference to what I have been reading. It was romance. It was literary fiction, contemporary fiction, but it wasn't like the romance part of it wasn't the main issue or the main point. It was Tilly working through the grief of losing Joe, and Joe's really sweet, thoughtful gift that he made to her in the process of him knowing that he was going to be gone and that she would need ways to move forward. So really, really sweet story. I had such a great time with it. I teared up many, 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 many times. And even I finished the book in the dentist office and had to hold myself together because I just wanted to bawl. As I said earlier, being in Tilly's position is like my worst nightmare. Ever since, even before I got married, for whatever reason, the story in the Bible of Anna, the prophetess Anna, who sees Jesus shortly after his birth, she lost her husband after 7 years and never remarried, and that was it's always been a fear of mine. That story really stood out to me, and even now, stories I read where the husband dies and the wife is left to carry on, I will read them, and 99% of the time I really enjoy them and rate them highly, but it's still a huge fear of mine, that I'm going to be left, that my husband's going to pass before me and I'm going to be left to deal with everything after that. But after that one, which I got from the Book Huddle, I believe, I think it was recommended by the book title. I'll have to look. And so I went searching on Instagram for the next book to read. I was really struggling with this one for this time around, only because nothing was really jumping out at me. Yeah, Book Huddle with Lauren Moore. In her books I'm begging you to read. So I got that one from there, and then in Instagram I just searched must read books in 2026, and one that kept popping up across several Instagram posts is Where No One Can Find You by J.E. Roney. I think Lily Reads 365 is the one that I bookmarked as the
Posted.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't hers. Anyway, I bookmarked this one, and so I'm gonna read it. I have no idea what this one is about. I do know it's a thriller, so I'm gonna start out blind on this one and go from there. I want to say, in hearing just the snippets, it's a serial killer story. So I'm gonna get started. I'll let you guys know what it is about shortly, but I really do like to go into a lot of these thrillers completely blind. So I will check in with you shortly. Alright, so the video I saw, because I went back and looked, and most of the posts I saw once I started looking at it were all comments or reviews the author was reposting. But I did see one by another person saying that once he picked it up, he could not put it down. And it was amazing. And I'm understanding that. I am 34% in, and I don't want to put the book down. So the premise of this book is a serial killer uses his daughter to lure victims. And it's kind of weird, but it's like a car wreck. You can't look away. So the whole book is or seems so far to be told from her point of view. So you kind of get her innocence at parts, and then you get her starting to understand what's going on. It starts when she's 5 and goes through, and so far she's 12, and just very, very capturing of your attention. I've just been sitting here reading for the last hour and a half or so, not wanting to stop except for to get more water. So really enjoying it. I'm gonna get back to it because I want to know what's gonna happen next. So I will check in soon. Well, it is 2:15 in the morning, and I definitely did not want to put that book down. Where No One Can Find You by J.E. Roney. Very interesting psychological thriller. A lot going on in that one. So make sure, if you choose to read it, that you do read the trigger warning at the beginning. And I almost... So this one is technically the second in the series. The first one follows two people who were attacked by her father. And then this one's her story. So it's very interesting how they tie together. And so I probably will soon read Where No One Can Hear You, which is the first book. I'm just not quite ready to yet. Definitely not going to start it in the wee hours of the morning because I have a feeling I would not sleep. I would just stay up reading. But again, I could not put the book down. I wouldn't say necessarily that I enjoyed it, but it definitely kept me on my toes and wanting to know what was going to keep happening. But I'm going to end this vlog here. 3 books read that were all books that Instagram said that you should read, based off of my For You page. So I am going to see you guys next time. Bye.